Well, good morning, everyone. How are you today? This is Jilly. Thanks so much for stopping by my channel. I'm looking outside because it was just snowing. I just about 10 minutes ago finished recording a video, and it was snowing off and on, off and on, off and on, and it's still doing the same thing. And I'm still like a kid at school, so when I see the snowflakes out the corner of my eye, I'm like this. Um, Today's video is going to be about my card of the month and how it sort of is tying in already to my card of the year and some other cards that I've been drawing. I do my card of the month differently, and I was thinking I do a yearly reading, a year spread for clients, and that year spread involves looking at like the world's card and then your card for the year, and then we do cards for the quarter and then cards for every month, and I usually pull a spirit guide, and there's lots of different things that go on with that. For myself, and for myself, I work in quarters. So I will pull a card for the quarter and then a card for the 3 months. And I usually don't pull my card for the month until the end of the previous month. So I won't pull my card for February until the end of January. And that, I don't know, it's just the way I've always done it. It's the way, kind of the way I roll. And I feel like, if I did my yearly spread in January for the entire year, my energy is one way in January. It may be way different in September. Do you know what I mean? Tell me what you think about that, because I know a lot of you do it the other way, and like neither way is wrong, right? But yeah, so this is just the way I do it. So anyway, my card for the month of January is Strength. I love this Strength card. Well, those of you who know me know that I love this deck. But this Strength card speaks to me so much, especially now. There are white flowers there signifying, well, to me, like signifying the rebirth of the year, so a new year. And she is just standing in her own power. And this is something that I have learned probably the hard way throughout my life. And she's standing there very peacefully next to this wild boar. She has her sword at her side, so she is not overpowering this wild boar at all. As a matter of fact, her strength is in her kindness and her calmness and her ability to see the animal's perspective. And so this really ties in with my card for the year, which is the Hanged Man. Now, this is my favorite Hanged Man. This one's called the Tree from the Gaian Tarot. And this is a yoga practitioner hanging upside down in tree pose. And it is about, it's about gaining perspective. Many times we look at the Hanged Man and we think of delays or blockages, and I tend to see it as looking at things from a different way, looking at things from a new perspective. And she has her hands in gasho, or prayer pose. And for those of you who don't know, this kind of means a lot to me as well, because I have been studying Buddhism, Zen Buddhism in particular, for the last, like 14 years now. And I feel finally ready to take my vows as a Buddhist practitioner, and I'm going to be doing that very soon. And so Gasho is a pose that I'm in actually quite a lot, not only as a Buddhist practitioner, but as a Reiki healer and teacher and practitioner as well. Gasho is a very important pose in Reiki. This card speaks to me also of strength, inner strength, and calmness. And calmness when things aren't necessarily calm around you. Being able to be the calm in the storm. And I think so much of this is what is pictured. And so what I think about in my own life, I don't know what's to come, but certainly this year will bring challenges, and this month will bring challenges. And so my job, what Spirit is calling me to do is to remain calm in the face of it, and to cultivate a strength within, continue to cultivate a strength within, which is definitely a helpful thing, right? So in the meantime, I've been working excuse me, with some of my oracle decks, and one that is becoming a favorite over the last, I don't know, 2 or 3 weeks that I've owned this deck is this one, The Wisdom of the Hidden Realms. And it's funny because when I opened it and I looked at it, I thought that it would be much different. I was like, I don't know. But I don't know, I'm really enjoying it, really enjoying working with it. So I have used this deck, I counted 8 times. I've used it once for a client and 7 times for myself. So we're not going to put the client in there. But the 7 times for myself, I have only chosen 2 cards from this deck. I'm a really thorough shuffler. I shuffle my cards a lot, and then I fan them out and pick. So the fact that I keep getting these cards over and over again, last year I had a stalker card as well, and it was the High Priestess, and she probably showed up, I did not count, but a lot. And often I'll have cards show up 2 or 3 times, and honestly, isn't that Spirit knocking on your door saying, pay attention? So, of the 7 times I received this card, I used this deck, 4 of them I pulled this card, the Metal King. Now, he is about protection, so what I need to remember when I'm looking at this card is that I am protected, that I do have guides that are with me always, and angels, and I do believe that. I believe that my practice strengthens me and protects me as well. This card is also about drawing boundaries and keeping healthy boundaries. And for those of us in the healing practices, that's sometimes difficult, but necessary. And so drawing healthy boundaries is, and it takes strength, and it takes courage to do that. The other 3 times that I have used this deck and pulled cards, I pulled, it's almost the polar opposite of this card to me. And what else is interesting about this is that numerically they're together. One is card number 36, one is card number 37. They were not stuck together. You know, they've been shuffled and shuffled and reshuffled and reshuffled. So I really need to look at 36 and 37, which would be 9 and 10. But so I pulled the River Queen. So the Metal King and the River Queen. So it's almost like protect yourself, and draw boundaries, but keep your heart soft, which I think is a really good message. But the River Queen is also about letting go and going with the flow. Think about water, you know? So, in the Buddhist practice, we talk a lot about non-attachment, and attachment is just wanting, and wanting creates suffering, sadness, because we want something, we want it. How do we get it? What do we do? You know. And so the River Queen is telling me to go with the flow and to appreciate the natural unfolding of life. A lot of times as a mom, and a lot of times as a mom, and I've been a stay-at-home mom for much of my kids' growing up years. I worked part-time. I worked full-time until they were just going into school, and then I worked part-time. But so I was a stay-at-home mom, and so you become like the director. You become the manager of the house. You are the manager of the household. And a lot of times I felt like the goalkeeper, like things just kept coming up and I just kept, you know, putting them back out there into play, you know, turning people around and sending them back out into the world to do what they needed to do, upstairs, go to school, do whatever, you know. But and then you also have this vested interest in your kids' lives. And so I guess what I'm trying to say is that I think that moms can kind of get this. Oh gosh, if I say this word, don't everybody start with me, okay? So I'm going to use the word codependent, but I think that I'm not necessarily, I think we get it honest as moms, that we want to make sure that our kids don't make the same mistakes that we made. And so the lesson I'm learning as a mom and as a person, and honestly, like, yeah, as a person, is to let go and to, as hard as it is sometimes, watch people make mistakes and learn their own lessons, because we all have to do that. And this River Queen also speaks to me of grace, and having the grace to do that, which is depicted in my, oh gosh, in both of these, in both the Strength card, but I think especially in the Tree. Oh, I've got her upside down. The Tree. You know, to me, that's grace right there. So, yeah, so January's got some pretty powerful messages for me going on already. And I'm excited to see what the rest of the year is going to bring. Yeah, so this has just been like my take on my monthly card and a little bit of tarot wisdom all mixed up. And it's snowing again, and it's time to go and walk the Budster. Although if you could see him, he's all stretched out over here on the bed and not looking like he wants to go anywhere. So I'll say goodbye for now, and I will be recording and downloading again soon. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.